All right, what's going on, everyone? Long-awaited, I'd say, update. I don't know if you y'all even care for these updates, but I want to keep you guys in the loop as much as possible. The last one was in December, and I was trying to do this weekly, but shit just got busy, and it was just hard to film this and then try to edit. Hard to just trim it down and send it over to you guys. I should just write a blog post on the Patreon and do a YouTube community update. But I also like doing it like this because it just makes it that way you guys can hear it from me through video. So first thing is the reactions. I know a lot of you guys primarily come to the YouTube and the Patreon for the updates for the reactions, the exclusives, the Street Fighter series, any other exclusive content that we've been sharing on Patreon. In terms of reactions with Temper Tantrum, we started doing reactions again mid-February. We're going to be doing it with a two-pronged approach. There's a dedicated reaction crew for the long-form reality TV show stuff through me, Kat, Lauren, and Max, because one, we enjoy watching that stuff, and two, we also know how much you guys like that, and we also know how much it helps the company out as well. Ideally, we bring more people to do it, and we have a little bit more of a rotating cast, but it's hard to do a rotating cast and try to catch them up if they're starting at episode 5. And the tricky part of that is a time commitment from everyone to watch these, and we only watch a huge batch of these every other month or till once a quarter. So not only that, we also have the place we used to film at is no longer available, so that's been tricky, and my place isn't exactly the biggest. I don't know if you guys watch the reactions. I'm always often sitting on my side, or Max is at the edge of the couch. That's how much space we have at the studio. So I'm trying not to bring any more people to watch, any more people to the studio to do these videos if I can, because when we do these batched film reactions, we film for 8 to 10 hours, sometimes 12 hours, and to ask other people who aren't aware of that culture or aspect of it, I'm not sure if I want to ease them into it. But yeah, the other approach is, since Temper Tantrum only rehearses 3 times a week, we're probably going to be using the off month to use our rehearsal space to film, I'd say, the more short form videos, but film as much as possible with the rest of the crew, so you guys can get to see them as well. They get to essentially participate in it. But in short, the challenge has really been balancing the long form Patreon videos and the short form YouTube content. We're probably going to use the whole crew 5-hour film session to focus on short form. Maybe something a little long, but doesn't require having to catch people up who didn't even watch the first episode. So that's been a little tricky. So yeah, we may test something like Street Dance of China. But again, it's a tough ask for the team to sit for 2 hours to go through the exposition and then just to see the little bit of dancing. And there was a bit where one of our members was getting a little bit of impatient because there's so much exposition. All right, so in regards to Emeroy TV, I'm finally reaching the last batch of requests that I did and live streamed back in 2024. So I'm excited for that. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded my own. Actually, it's been a while since I'm still uploading on YouTube. And everything that's on YouTube is just backlog stuff. But it's been a while since I've recorded something specifically for my channel via reactions and the analysis. And I think that's one of the things that made my reactions unique, the analysis. So I've been sharing the reactions I do with TTs just to keep things current, to also share my thoughts, on these latest videos. But I do often think about damn, I would love to analyze this, but I just don't have time. I haven't forgotten any of the requests, and once I'm done working on the current batch of backlog requests, I might chill for a bit just to give myself a little bit of space to edit other things that I've been wanting to work on myself, in terms of other projects, in terms of dance education content that I've been wanting to work on, to give myself a little bit of space, because a lot of my time in terms of editing has been trying to catch up on these requests between all the other client work and Temper Tantrum work that I've been doing as well. I know that sucks. It's not exactly the thing everyone wants to hear in terms of the reactions, but I also want to give myself a little bit of space to work on something else for a bit. So I haven't forgotten any of the requests. I still intend on making good on it. Since I've been editing a lot of these reactions, I've been experimenting with different editing formats. How can I, and different ways to not get flagged in terms of copyright, and even more so, like trying to get my, not more so, but trying to get these Patreon exclusives like the Street Woman Fighter series up on YouTube as well, because I really don't want to have to chop out so much, because then that's a whole project itself, and I have a whole bunch of other projects already. So I'm trying to do other workarounds that doesn't require me to edit as much. I know other YouTubers do it as well. I just don't have the time to be able to do that. I'd much rather work on like 10 short form videos to have you guys watch rather than spend 2 hours on trying to chop things out for a Street Woman Fighter episode. It's just not productive for my time, because then I could be using that time to be trying to get some trying to get some client deliverables out. But yeah, I'm on the last leg of requests and expect that to come out. So if you see anything on YouTube or with my old hairstyle and I also have to wear the same glasses, but I have contacts on, so you don't see any of the glare on my face. But you'll probably see, like, the thumbnail is this, but the hairstyle is completely different. One more update in terms of the Patreon. We're currently switching from Vimeo to BunnyNet. It's just way better in terms of cost for hosting videos. We just tested it today. There's no difference in terms of the quality that you get in terms of the playback. And it's also going to be better for our pockets, because it doesn't cost us nearly $1,000 for the year. So it's definitely a win for us. And yeah, just letting you guys know. So that might be a little bit of a delay, or there might be you might notice something a little different in terms of the video player. This is other things if you guys care to know. Vision Paradox, a social media company. Still, we're currently in talks, negotiations with a comedy love talk show for post-production, and maybe actual production when they're in LA. We recently submitted some test edits. They seem to like it. They're sending notes over. We'll see how it goes. The existing comedy client is still going on strong. One of their videos recently did 1 million views, which was something that on a topic that we weren't expecting. It just goes to show, like, the audience is the audience, the market is the market. Like, ultimately the audience will tell you what's good. You just got to make sure that the stuff that you're putting out there is your best foot forward. And I feel like we've really hit a stride in terms of the content we're making with them. Now it's just continually refining on the content, because in the beginning it was a whole wide variety. Like, let's try this. What is your audience like? Because at that point their audience was zero. But we started we've started videos and topic started picking up traction. So we started leaning more towards that. So, and I feel like with them, I feel like we've hit our stride. I feel like it can still continue to be better. And we should continue delivering that, because every time we've done these specific topics, these specific talking points and videos, it does. But I also want to make sure that we are continuing to improve on it, that it's not just delivering the same format, but we aim to repackage it a little differently, whether it's just different music, B-roll, things like that. And we also let ourselves be a little creative in terms of different formats, different types of videos. Yeah, there's a type of video that I want them to do of the specific sport that they used to do that I want to actually film, but I don't know how he feels about that. So, I've pitched it, but he hasn't given me a straightforward answer on that. In terms of Temper Tantrum, there's been a handful of updates. Around January 25th, we had Leadership Day. We essentially game planned for the rest of the year as much as possible, and kind of other opportunities that came our way. February 1st, we had auditions. That was one hell of a day. I flew right in from Gillette, Wyoming, from judging a competition. I flew in that morning, got there right in time to judge audition. So that was a process. That was one hell of a day. I was exhausted. But anyways, we brought in five new members, but in reality 4, because one of the members couldn't do it because of life stuff. So February 15th, we had Media Day. So essentially Media Day for us this was actually inspired by like how I think the NBA does it. They have a media day, so essentially, but where it looks like they just talk to the press and they take new photos and and whatnot. And for the way I framed it for us was we would have new headshots because dancers need new headshots every year. We did thumbnails because we need that whenever we do podcasts and reactions. We also did interviews, so that's a little bit more of media training on their end, but also for people to get to know the dancer. A couple new things that we added is our hero shots, which is essentially slow motion, kind of like pushing in, pushing out 120 frames per second of just like them holding a pose, whatever they want for like a few seconds. We're filming at 120 frames per second. So that shot's going to be crispy, buttery, smooth. It's going to look good when we use it as B-roll for their interviews. And we also did a video showcasing the audition choreography, and we did a freestyle video. And I really wanted us to do the audition choreography for video this year because for the past few years, every time we've done the audition choreography, it's always been like, oh, keep this in mind because we're going to use it for something. We're going to use it later in the year, and we never use it. And so I want to give light, love, and acknowledgement for the choreography that specifically Brandon and Lauren have made for every audition. And it's cool because the choreography that they make for audition is fucking fire. And it sucks to not put it on film or on stage because it just ends up just being an audition piece. So I'm glad we were able to do something with it and really elevate it and really showcase it. It was a really productive media day. March through April is going to be training sessions. March to July. March, April, May, June. March to June is going to be training. So from March to April, we're going to be focusing on popping, choreography, and performance and musicality. So if any of you guys in LA happen to be here, come take a class. If you're a dancer on a budget, come dance with us. It's only $10 a class. And I know we have different options for end packages for either the whole month or just for the whole class that day. But if you want to take a popping class or a single drop-in class, $10. Especially in LA, I'd say that's a steal. Most classes cost like at least maybe $18 and up now. So one of the other things that we're currently in the works for our November show, we have a concept locked in. Now it's locking in the different numbers. In terms of that, we also need to get funding. So we're doing fundraising this year. So I don't know if we're going to be doing an Indiegogo because usually or Kickstarter because usually I have to spearhead that, and I just don't have the bandwidth to do any of that. So Brandon and Max are going to be spearheading some actual like IRL fundraisers. See how that goes. So and one last update is that we are officially a nonprofit, still in the process of acquiring a 501(c) to get approval for it, but we're officially a nonprofit. We have a board of directors with a couple of TT alumni. Pretty excited. So I think that's like it in terms of that. How do I feel about it? I'm all for whatever makes progress in terms of getting our dancers paid. I honestly would have preferred to not be a nonprofit, but we've been a company for almost since 2020, and it's about 6 years, and it's been it's a struggle bus. In terms of getting consistent funding. It's been honestly, it's just been challenging to get consistent funding, either through Dad's work or even the YouTube or the Patreon, because everything it's been very volatile. It gets ups and downs, ebbs and flows, and ultimately my goal is to. And one of the reasons I started Temper Tantrum was to be able to pay the dancers and allow us to create the art and create the things that they want to do. But I also want to make sure that their product is something that people like watching. So it might just be honest feedback that our shit just ain't good enough yet. So that's certainly a perspective. So personal updates in terms of the dancer update. If you get shouts out to anyone who's still watching here. Last quarter 2025 was really intense, going from Six Flags Fright Fest to Holiday in the Park. Lauren and I literally had 3 days, maybe not literally, but we had 3 days to put together choreography. Was it 3 days? It was. We had to have the choreography done in a week. so we can, it was 3 days to choreograph everything for an entire show. So it was interesting going from just being a dancer and then performing late into the night and then not even a week off, a couple of days off to choreographing for a holiday show. That was intense. Especially like missing out on being with family on holidays, not being there for Thanksgiving, Halloween, Christmas Eve. So that one was tough because I'm usually trying to be with family around that time, and I made the commitment. I said I would want to do. I said I'd do it. So it was pretty intense. So Six Flags as a performer, then choreographer, holiday gigs with Temper Tantrum, and then client work. It was all just stacked up, and it was tough. Six Flags was fun and rewarding, but physically exhausting because it caused a lot of major work backlog. So I was on par to be finished with catching up with reactions last year, and I decided to say yes to Six Flags, and that kind of derailed everything because I saw it as a good opportunity as a dancer. Also, consistent paycheck is nice. And again, credits, resume, things. That's what I'm kind of thinking of, like a cool thing to add to the demo reel. I'm not sure if I'm going to be returning to Six Flags this year. I really like the people there. Like, that's the main reason I stuck on for the holiday show. It's not the main reason, but it's definitely up there. The second reason was to be able to choreograph a show together with my partner, Lauren. And third reason is to be able to be on stage as booked dancers with both my partners, with Max and Lauren. So it's just pretty cool. For me, any opportunity to be on stage with them is worth it, but also, like, it's a choice. You say yes to something, you say no to something else. So I'm glad it was it. I would say yes again to be able to on stage with them, but I don't know this year. I'm not sure because it's not like a first time novelty kind of thing. But and then more recent work is I booked a YouTube collaboration thing with an artist I choreographed for last year, and now he's bringing me on to. He's bringing me on with an artist he's collaborating with or producing music with, and they have a thing that they're doing, and my role is essentially to be the choreographer behind the scenes, but also a choreographer for the video. I don't know if you guys watch it, but I didn't sign an NDA, but I'm not trying to give away too much. But it's one of those things, like, I'm not sure if I should share yet because I'm not sure if it's something I'll be proud of or something I'll cringe at. That's the thing. But it might be something that's worth sharing the demo reel to get me work as a dancer. But that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of hesitating on sharing that. But I got to work with that same artist, and he booked me. It's always nice, especially with dance. Dance is a hustle. It's not as consistent as many other fields. So, and not only that, it's not as often you get pretty good paid work. So gotta say yes to some of these things. So now, one of the new things this year for sure is I'm judging for a competition called Fly Dance Company. Since I've been doing it since February, pretty much every weekend. I've heard some things about this company. And I've heard the lore of how it came to be and other things, but so far, personally for me, my experience has been pretty positive. Like, the only thing I got to complain about is some crappy like times of flying. Like, I'm not, like, last week we flew out at like 5:30 a.m. to be here and with a layover, and then that was a process. If you guys go flying, having a 5 a.m. flight can suck. So that's just something I'm kind of just nitpicky on. But other than that, it's, you're getting paid to travel and judge and teach. So pretty cool. And as far as I know, it's one of the competitions that pay pretty well. It's funny because one of the things I wanted to do this year was travel more. I'm certainly traveling more. It's one of those things that, like, got to be more specific, because the universe is like, I was like, I want to travel more. And the universe is like, all right, here you go, you're traveling. I'm like, cool. I'm in my hotel. I don't have a car, because usually there's a point person who has the car, and I can't really explore the city the way I want to. Because usually I would love to travel to a different city with someone to explore the dance scene, the food scene, maybe the bars, maybe the bars, just to see how it is. And I suppose I would like to travel a little bit more for leisure with someone I love, whether it's with Max, with Lauren, with Jordan, with all of them. Would love to do that. Would love to, because I haven't done that, I feel like, in years. So I would just love to travel. But I just think it's funny at how it came to fruition quickly, but also like, it was packaged differently because I was very specific. But anyways, I digress. Other updates in later this month, and it's March at the time of filming this. I'm going to be at San Francisco. Ooh, actually, this March is going to be crazy. It's yeah, from the 19th to the from the 20th to the 22nd, I'll be in Albuquerque, and right after that, I'm going to be heading right after that judging gig. I go straight up to San Francisco. I'll be there for about 4 days. I'll be doing a performance, doing a heroes and villains type of concept. I'm not sure if I got booked to be a hero or villain, but essentially that's the concept as part of the performance. I think it's a little bit of interaction where I talk to the crowd. I'm not sure how big the event is, but it sounds big because they shared the whole floor plan and everything. Yeah, so I'll be doing that, but also it's partly like a flash mob. So I'm not sure which character that weekend I'm just apprehensive of, because that's coming straight from judging a competition in New Mexico, then going right in, trying to get to San Francisco as quickly as possible. So that Monday I have rehearsal from 9 to 5, and then the following few days I'm performing, and then drive back to LA. And yeah, I'm probably going to take at least 2 days off that week, because goddamn, but it's nice to be booked and busy as a dancer. I'm just grateful for all the work. Whew. But yeah, generally just tired, just a little tired from trying to manage everything at once. That's the thing with trying to pursue multiple things at the same time. Your focuses are just brought to different places, and that can be good or bad depending on the perspective that you look at it. Because the upside is that you get to do these things that you're interested in, but the downside is that you're not really getting a moment to, I would say, even relax or have some time for yourself, because you got to switch on to the next thing and then the next thing. So with so many things pulling at you, or especially for me pulling at me, the main thing that's been helping is time blocking. And it doesn't exactly help me get everything done, but it gets me to prioritize and keep my sanity, and have essentially help give me the feeling of me happening to life than life happening to me. Because I love doing all the things that I'm doing. It's more like I would like to have a sense of control instead of like, oh, this needs to be done because I forgot about it. So definitely time blocking has definitely helped in terms of making me feel, in a sense, in control, or be more intentional with the things that are happening. And I don't get everything done in a week, and there are days where I just don't get the things that I want done. But I do. As long as I may have me time for the things that's prioritized, that's important, and I follow through with the game plan, and that I am, I'd say, patient and give myself grace when I'm not able to get to a certain thing that day. So I'd say it's what, March. I'd say the couple lessons to share from these past few months. Okay, and I have it written out here, so don't mind me don't mind me as I go through. The main reason that I kept going, and despite sometimes feeling overwhelmed, was because despite feeling overwhelmed, despite feeling the fatigue, though, I'd say two things helped me. One is the love of the game. I really enjoy doing it. It's almost to the point where, like, I'll play, like, if you guys have ever binge watched an entire show and you're like, fuck, I'm tired, but I want to keep going. Or if you played a game that long, but you want to keep going, that's how it kind of feels. There's the exhaustion, fatigue is real, but the love of it is there. Like, oh, I feel like I can keep going. I get excited just thinking about it. But also a little bit of that weight of that responsibility, and like, I got some bills to pay. I said yes to this, so I'm going to be my word to do it, and that's still how I feel about that's how I felt about saying yes to the holiday show at Six Flags. That's how I still feel about the backlogged reactions. I want to get it done as soon as possible so I can get back to doing the requests. I'd say, again, like I said, I do want to give myself a little bit of a break to work on other things creatively. And it kind of goes back to time blocking, how it's helped me kind of reprioritize or be more intentional at the time of things that need to be handled between the different companies and projects that I'm in. It can feel like there's a moving, it's kind of conflicting with the thing that I've been trying to implement, which is like one foot in one direction, a foot in one direction versus an inch in multiple directions. But the thing is, I have my hands in being a professional dancer and Emeroy TV and Vision Paradox clients, and Vision Paradox is not just one thing. It's like working with multiple clients. The way I've reframed it is, and I think it's been really super helpful, is signal over noise. So between all these different projects, even though I'm not going to be able to make the progress in a foot in one direction, at least I can say no to certain projects that week or day. So that way I can make at least maybe not 1 inch, but maybe a couple inches versus minuscule. So, and then what's been helping is signal versus noise, something I saw recently from Diary CEO. Just signal over noise, which helps what is the most impactful thing within the next 18 hours, which will help move the business forward, which is essentially another great way of just trimming out the fat from the to-do list, which helps me prioritize my time blocking, and which helps me figure out which work I do between the different companies. It may not be a foot or significant progress in one direction, but that it matters when at least everything gets handled, and versus one thing gets done and everything else gets ignored, because there's been a handful of times that's between the third and fourth quarter where things were just overlooked, and it was not great. So I think one of the things I'm aiming to work on personally this year is being intentional on my days off. Because I give myself days off, but it's also like I kind of want to just keep working. Honest advice to younger dancers and creators. So if this is something that you're passionate about, whether you're a dancer or you're a creator, get ready to be putting in a lot of work, but be incredibly intentional with how you want to work with how you want to use your time, but also get ready to be tired, to do a lot of work. Communicate constantly with your loved ones, whether it's either your partners, your mom, your dad, your family, whatever. Expect a lot of work. Expect sacrifice. Find a system that keeps you intentional. For me, what's happening right now is time blocking and signal versus noise. So at the time, again, it's helped me be intentional with what I'm doing throughout the week, and it's helped me prioritize, because I always make sure that it helps me prioritize in terms of what needs to get done. But I always make sure that there's time to go to the gym. I always have at least 2 hours to spend time with Max and Lauren. Mondays, the only thing I do outside of work is the gym. And then every other day, I only make time for two non-work activities. 3 if you include me hanging out with the girls. So, yeah, that's it. This update was a little longer, a little bit more personal, but yeah. See you guys in the next one. Hopefully it's soon.